Welcome to Talking Politics. I am Paul Gable. I'm here with my co-host John Bond Sr. at Sugami's Restaurant, which is located at 4813 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach. And today we're welcoming Myrtle Beach City Councilman Wayne Gray to talk to us about some issues. Wayne, nice to have you here.
Thank you, Paul. Glad to be here. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back in a moment to get into the issues with Wayne.
Sugami Japanese Restaurant, Myrtle Beach's signature Asian cuisine experience. Fine entrees served in a casual atmosphere, including amazing hibachi selections prepared by expert chefs. Incredible sushi creations made to order from the freshest seafood. And don't forget their steaks, some of the best you'll find on the Grand Strand. Bring your friends and family. Stop in tonight. Sugami Japanese Restaurant, 4813 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach.
Welcome to Soho.
Soho is proud to present Soho 544, the beach's premier dining experience, now on Highway 544 near Coastal Carolina University. The same award-winning menu selection you've come to expect: succulent seafood, excellent sushi, and the very best in premium steaks. Stop in for happy hour or enjoy dinner with family and friends. Fine quality dining in relaxed comfort. That's Soho. Soho 544, 1300 Highway 544 in Conway, just south of CCU.
Welcome back. We're here at Sugami's with Councilman Wayne Gray. We're talking about Myrtle Beach city issues, and there's one thing I have to ask you about. I believe you said that, well, first of all, let me preface it. I am an opponent of the 1 cent local option sales tax called a tourism development fee.
Okay.
You know that. We have
Sure.
talked about that. But you, I believe, came up with a proposal because with the recent events of needing to bring in more police or hire more police or however we have to pay for more police, especially during the tourist time, the governor, when he was down here, he mentioned that we already had in place a revenue stream, and he was talking about that 1 cent sales tax, and he expected that to be used to help to fund, not ask for state funds for these police and what have you, these extra police, but to use that as a revenue stream. And you came up with a proposal I think you want to talk about.
Well, thank you, Paul. But let me just give a little background. When we implemented the tourism development fee in 2009, we felt that it was important that what now is 80% of the collection of that revenue is used to promote and market and brand the destination. We were facing some strong headwinds given the declining economy and particularly how that was impacting tourism. I believe that that's been successful to help rebound and grow our tourism and bring in new tourists. And we can look at all kinds of statistics that have shown the growth over the last 9 years from the implementation of that new amount of money to market our destination against a number of other competitive destinations. But as times have changed, I think now we recognize that we need to utilize some of that 80% that now is used for marketing and retain more of it into the city's coffers. Mainly what I would propose two concepts. One for beach management and beach maintenance, which is protecting the beach, our most gifted asset. And the second would be to help pay for law enforcement cost, both capital and operational. So that would mean additional bricks and mortar that would support law enforcement, and that would mean additional police officers. And looking at also in the summer, I like the idea that we're able to supplement the fact that we have a large population due to our tourists, that we can go hire officers from Horry County Police Department, Horry County Sheriff's, Coastal Carolina Highway Patrol, who would want some extra hours to come to Myrtle Beach, and we can use that money to supplement these additional officers when they're needed in the summer, but not really in the winter. So my proposal was, let's ask the General Assembly, through a coordinated effort of the business and hospitality industry, our legislative delegation and City Council, to allow for the city to retain 30% of the funds instead of 20%. Now it's an 80-20 split, so it would be a 70-30 split. That would technically give the city $4 million a year in additional revenue. Wow. And that would be the revenue that we would use annually to make this investment in protecting our beach, maintaining our beach, enhancing our beach, and hiring additional law enforcement personnel, both temporarily and permanent, and making some other infrastructure improvements that we've talked about that make that area more safe. We need to widen the sidewalks, for example. We've got sidewalks that were built in the 50s, and we're now entertaining 5 times the amount of people that we did then. We can look at building some of these protective barriers that we described earlier that will encourage people to use crosswalks and not dart out into the middle of the street, and protect their movement up and down the sidewalk and give enough space make them decorative in nature. And so I believe that's all a part of creating a safe environment. That would be my proposal. I do know this, whatever we do, we need to be coordinated and consolidated in agreement as we approach the General Assembly on this effort to amend the tourism development fee.
And you're going to have to get your own legislative delegation on board, because I can think
Absolutely.
of some that'll fight that tooth and nail because they think it should all go to the chamber. Now, I like the 70-30. I would like better 50-50. I've always felt that 80% that goes to the chamber is nothing but collecting public tax and giving public money to a private organization to handle the marketing budgets of other private organizations. I'm sorry, that's not right.
Don't be so hard on the
But
chamber.
taking that aside, I like your proposal because, yes, beach renourishment, we don't know how long we can count on the feds for any money for that.
Right.
But as long as we have that beach out there and that big hole that's got water next to it, you're going to draw people. So that's
Absolutely.
important. Law enforcement, infrastructure. That's what that kind of money should be used for.
Sure.
And I will support 50-50 at least. I'd be willing to take the whole 80% from them.
Well, and let me say, that's not a novel idea. The accommodations tax, there's a 2% accommodations tax
Yes,
that
there is.
every hotel across the state pays to the state, and then it's remitted back. Money is used for marketing and advertising, but the purpose of that tax when it was created in the early 80s was for some of it to retain with the local governments to help them pay for these additional level of services due to the tourism concentration. So now collecting more of the tourism development fee into the city coffers is not a novel idea, and we can debate where it should best be used, and we can debate what should be the split. That's a good policy debate, whether it's 70-30, 60-40, 50-50, 80-20.
But don't take it away from the Chamber
Well,
of Commerce.
you know,
They're doing
we-
an outstanding job.
I do-
Government can't do the job
Yeah,
they're doing.
I do believe that given the fact that we are a tourism-driven economy, that there is a responsibility to collect taxes, mainly on tourists, to promote and market and brand our destination.
Well, and
We gotta
that's
continue
fine.
to market ourselves.
But here's my point. The tourism development fee gives them $20 million. Your accommodations tax, the requirements on that, gives them
$3 million.
it's more than that. But when you can call in the county's amount, which is also pledged to them, then they get $6 million roughly every year from the state in some kind of grants, and we're
Hospitality.
talking $30-some million going
Yeah.
into this when we have police problems, when we have need for wider sidewalks or different roads or beach renourishment, and I think that's dead
But
wrong. I just
they're
do.
spending the money in the right direction now. Hospitality, admission, taxes are very essential.
Well, John, you and I will agree to disagree on that too.
Well, I know that
But-
for a fact because we annually, meaning Save Our Cats organization, comes to hat in hand to try to get some of the funds so that we can protect.
A week can't go by without John mentioning Save Our Cats.
Yeah, well, that's important to us, but you may laugh about it, but it is important to people that are cat lovers or lovers of animals. And we look forward to getting a little stipend from these various types of accommodation or admission taxes. It helps. The people that are feeding the cats spend a yearly maybe $10,000, $20,000, and if they get something in support of their programs, it's very essential. I got to thank you for helping us each year, Wayne, by
Well, it's
giving
our
us an
pleasure.
approval and a yes vote on what we asked.
Well, thank you for
You
your
see,
service.
Wayne, he wants you to run for re-election so he can get 4 more years to Save Our Cats funds. That's what it's all
and
about.
let me just say, this is the healthy debate and conversation that we need to have. We all recognize that all of these issues are equally as important. Making sure that we have a world-class community, and that means proper infrastructure, proper law enforcement, that people feel safe and comfortable in their homes and their businesses, and that we want to be a world-class resort. That's what pays the bills, is these 18 million tourists that travel through
You've
here.
got the beauty of everything right here.
Yeah.
And you got Ripken baseball. You
Absolutely.
got baseball. You got
Yeah.
soccer. You got basketball.
And got some of the best dining in the world, like Sugami.
Well, yes, and then we have the best council in the world too, in Myrtle Beach Council.
I got to throw in. I don't know how much you know about Ripken, or the Ripken complex. I have a guy that I graduated from high school with a million years ago, who was a coach for years, high school and then college, and then when he retired in 2007, that's an interesting year, he was picked up as a scout by the Cincinnati Reds. He scouts for the Northeast. Well, every year I get to see him a couple times a year because he'll come down in February and he'll come down in March or April. either for the high school tournament in April, or generally in April, or to see two sets of college teams. When his teams from the Northeast that are still snowed in come down here to could play ball against other teams down here in the Ripken, I get to see him for a couple of weeks. I don't know if people realize, but virtually all the Major League Baseball team scouts are coming through the
we got the Pelicans
Ripken
here, the Chicago Cub affiliate.
No, I'm talking about the scouts going to see the college kids.
I'm just saying, for people
play.
that want to come here to see something different than they don't have in their hometown, I'm just saying it's a package. You get practically everything here. Instead of going to sands, resorts offshore, you don't have the pleasure and the beauty here. You got the best beaches. You just heard Wayne's Councilman Gray say that they're replenishing the beach. You just heard him say the uplifting of the boardwalk and things of that nature. All positive. The people, you got to come down to Myrtle Beach. We're friendly. We have a good police force. And the important thing is that we have councilmen like Wayne Gray that are concerned with your safety, your pleasure, and your entertainment. And that's what makes Myrtle Beach special.
On that note, we have to take another break. We'll be back in a moment.
Sugami Japanese Restaurant, Myrtle Beach's signature Asian cuisine experience. Fine entrees served in a casual atmosphere, including amazing hibachi selections prepared by expert chefs. Incredible sushi creations made to order from the freshest seafood. And don't forget their steaks, some of the best you'll find on the Grand Strand. Bring your friends and family. Stop in tonight. Sugami Japanese Restaurant, 4813 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach.
Welcome to Soho.
Soho is proud to present Soho 544, the beach's premier dining experience, now on Highway 544 near Coastal Carolina University. The same award-winning menu selection you've come to expect: succulent seafood, excellent sushi, and the very best in premium steaks. Stop in for happy hour or enjoy dinner with family and friends. Fine quality dining in relaxed comfort. That's Soho. Soho 544, 1300 Highway 544 in Conway, just south of CCU.
Welcome to Talking Politics. I'm Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr.
You have such a romantic voice.
Did you say romantic voice?
Community gun violence, called opiates and heroin, which are killing our children every day.
Oh my God. Paul's getting frustrated.
It's time for us to take a break.
And we may argue and we may fight. We will agree never to be disagreeable.
I'm Randall Wallace. I'm a Myrtle Beach City Councilman. I spent a day here in the hot seat on the show, and I actually enjoyed it.
I have a bumper sticker that says "Support your police." They do such a great job. Not all of them, naturally, and that's why he's presently reviewing some cases that are under investigation, or some that have gone to trial, and they happen to be police officers. If they're rogue police officers, his office will get after them. I'm positive about that, because you can't find, in my opinion, now I'm talking about John Bonsignor, in my opinion, you can't. I've dealt with a lot of police, I've dealt with a lot of district attorneys, a lot of solicitors. I've dealt with Embry last year, but I tell you here, standing here today, that this man is one of the finest persons. You call him, he gets on the phone. He doesn't try to shirk his responsibility. You give him a problem, he checks it out, he looks into it. And he has so much on his plate, and how he does it is beyond me. I'm giving him a good testimonial because I believe in what he's doing and how he's helping me as a citizen of this county.
Welcome to Talking Politics. I'm Paul Gable. I'm here with my good friend and co-host John Bond Sr.
Hey, bottom line is, Sheriff, is that we need to get more involvement, showing them that you are their friends.
He did something good, Randall.
He did. He came here and agreed to be sitting on a hot seat.
We'll be back in a minute to talk more with the solicitor.
Doing that. You have such a romantic voice. Now,
did you say romantic voice? Talking Politics. I am Paul Gable. I'm here with my friend. God, let's start it again. Good Lord.
Community gun violence, but we have the possibility of breaking the cycle of opiates and heroin, which are killing our children every day.
oh my God. See him bang the table.
So we're going back to the basics.
Well, the south end of the county is blowing up. Many houses coming in, a lot of people moving into the area, etc. We haven't seen your South's precinct commander out there at all.
Oh, you're not looking.
Well, you have not seen him. I'm
You're
telling you,
not
I'm the
looking.
president of Southern Republican
And I'm
Club.
telling you, you're not looking. I'm
Club.
telling you, you're not looking. Oh, you're not looking.
I'm the president of Southern Republican
And
Club.
I'm telling you, you're not looking.
And we may argue and we may fight. We will agree never to be disagreeable.
Paul's getting frustrated. Okay,
Hey, Paul.
It's time for us to take a break. We'll be back in a moment to talk more with Benny. And today we are entertaining Randall Wallace at the Grease and Delight restaurant in Myrtle Beach. Randall's Myrtle Beach City Councilman, and we'll be back to talk to him about city politics and the upcoming city election. We're just like a club over the owner's head. We got eminent domain that we will use if you don't agree to us in another fashion.
Well, it's on my phone bill. It's on my cable bill. Not that I'm griping much.
I'm Randall Wallace. I'm a Myrtle Beach City Councilman, and I spent a day here in the hot seat on the show, and I actually enjoyed it.
Okay.
How do you pronounce the name of the restaurant?
Capriccios.
Again, I just want to thank y'all for having me on the show.
And we welcome Sheriff Philip Thompson, the Horry County Sheriff. And we'll be back in a moment to talk to Sheriff Thompson about some of the programs and about his golf tournament.
And we can ill afford to watch little children find themselves addicted to drugs. And they're whites, and they're blacks, and they're Asians, and they're Hispanics.
And they're rich and they're poor and they're everything.
And they're male and they're female. They're our children.
That's right.
They're all of our children. And if we fail at this mission, we fail our future and we fail our children. So I'm absolutely certain that we're going to get the kind of cooperation that we need when it comes to the bishop and the Asian community, John, me, and others as we work to solve this problem.
Benny, tell us how we are working cooperatively with the solicitor's office, Jimmy Richardson.
Sure.
Who's done a great job as a solicitor of Jimmy Richardson. I know you work with him very closely. Tell us something about.
No, we work closely.
Okay, thank you very much for including me. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Me and John serve as co-chairs on Grants Rand Community Law Enforcement. 15 separate jurisdictions working, talking, collaborating, planning to work with communities. We've had these 2 fantastic cookouts, one in North Myrtle Beach with the law enforcement jurisdictions from that end, one in Myrtle Beach with the jurisdictions from this end, and guess what happened? It talks about something very basic and so fundamental. It's connecting cops, kids, and communities.
And
how can you go wrong with
you know
that?
what was nice at the Myrtle Beach affair? When you had all those little kids from the NAACP.
That's right.
That was so inspiring. That was so nice and joyful to see their happy faces interacting with the police. And then we had so many Hispanics there as well.
That's right.
And now we're trying to draw in others.
I encourage you to tune in every Sunday at 4:30, either HTC or Spectrum. 4:30 Sunday afternoons. Tune in to Talking Politics. You're going to have a grand time.
Welcome back. We're here talking with Myrtle Beach City Councilman Wayne Gray, and I know I've held John off for long enough. He's got some questions on other issues he wants to
that's
ask.
quite all right. Look,
We'll let you go.
I was enthralled listening to the conversation. It really was interesting and very informative. What I want to know, Councilman Gray, is what are the positive things that the city has done? There's a lot of people that are watching this program that are tourists, vacationers, and the like. And they would like to know what Myrtle Beach is all about, what Myrtle Beach has done. Now, you are the best person that I know that can explain it to them. What's on the agenda, what's on the calendar that's upcoming in August and September, where people can come to Myrtle Beach, enjoy themselves, and have happy faces, nice beaches, and entertainment?
Well, a lot of the things that have been done have actually been done by the private sector, John. There's wonderful amenities to take advantage of in Myrtle Beach. I mean, we mentioned Broadway at the Beach, which is a first-class entertainment facility with restaurants, entertainment, retail. Market Common is a new project that is continuing to grow and expand. Of course, we've got the beautiful beaches, which most people come here. You think about another piece of business is sports tourism. We've got the best amenities in the ball fields at Market Common, the sports center, which is located behind the convention center. A couple of new things that the City of Myrtle Beach is working on is a performing arts center / amphitheater, which is a project that I think, again, would add an additional dimension to what people will be able to entertain themselves. We continue to add There's three new high-rise projects that are under construction right now. One at 16th Avenue North, which will continue to extend the boardwalk. There's a new oceanfront restaurant that's being opening here soon by Erez Zuccarchi and Bill Prescott. That's going to be, Riptides is going to be exciting. There's a new development on the oceanfront where Banditos used to be that people will be able to enjoy. A local restaurateur, Heidi Vukoff, just opened a new site at 82nd and Kings Highway called Hook and Barrel and Croissants. So there's a lot of new and exciting venues that are being added to Myrtle Beach, and we're a part of that.
And people listening right now, looking at and viewing this program that are here as visitors, here's a man that can tell you much better than I can as all the amenities that you have, like the Family Kingdom. It's here. You want rides, entertainment, golf is here. Great restaurants is here.
For a little while.
We have Wayne Great is here.
Wayne, let me ask you this.
Go ahead.
Along that line, and like you said, there's been a lot of new stuff, but is there any real substantive talk about the pavilions, the old pavilion site, or about the old Myrtle Square Mall site?
There is not, Paul, and frankly, let me just say this, and I have said this publicly, and I don't mean this as any criticism or ill will, but when we talk about the area of the Myrtle Beach that has not experienced the same type of redevelopment or new development as the other areas, it's that 75 acres between the pavilion and 3rd Avenue South.
Right.
And frankly, it's my opinion that because of the uncertainty of the pavilion site, it plagues and delays other folks of wanting to invest into that area. I mean, would you want to invest $100 million into a new development if you didn't know what was going to happen there? And we've tried to have conversations with Burroughs and Chapin, but it has been fruitless.
That zip line is not.
Well, that's
not very nice looking.
That's that's their private property rights. But
I understand that, but they have an obligation to make
when
that
they
area
destroyed the
look good and help
pavilion,
the other
they
merchants.
destroyed, in my opinion, vitality in that area.
Certainly, I believe, again, listen to what I'm saying, the uncertainty of the use of that property plagues new development in that area because you're just uncertain what's going to go there. You don't want to start a new project and then all of a sudden they announce a brand new project. And we've tried to work with them on developing certainty of that use. Quite frankly, we've even offered to buy the property and put it into a public use and begin to make improvements to it and make it a passive and active park where people can enjoy and have access to the ocean front.
Burroughs and Chapin should be good neighbors. They're doing so much for Broadway to the beach. Do something for downtown where they have what you just described now at the pavilion. We only have 3 minutes left, Paul, and you'll ask a question.
You go ahead.
I just wanted to ask you a question. How do you felt about the councilmatic seats? Do you think it should be at large, or do you think it should be in districts?
No, I think it should be at large. The city of Myrtle Beach's limits are really small. We're only 14 square miles, basically from the ocean to the waterway, from Dunes Club to Market Common. And I believe that at large best serves. That means all council members represent every area of the city as opposed to districts. The one challenging thing about districts would be, since we fall under the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and we would have to provide at least one minority-majority district if we created 6 council districts. And quite frankly, given the population demographics, we would not be able to do that. And the fact that we have always elected at least one minority, which represents 16% of our 6 members, that's larger than the minority population in the city.
Former county councilman Marion Foxworth disagreed with you. He said districts are very, very important because you have representation throughout the city. But that comes at another time. We don't have much time.
I disagree with Marion, my good friend.
No, but go ahead, Paul.
I got to say this. We're getting close to our close, and I might embarrass Wayne a little bit with this, and I apologize if I do. But I moved down here in 1983, and in 1983, Wayne was the quarterback of Myrtle Beach High School's football team, and they were on their way to a state championship that year and the following year. But I can't be around you, or I can't see you, or I can't hear you speak and not think back to that little guy that was playing football for Myrtle Beach High School. That's the way I remember you. But also, am I right, this is you're ending your 4th term on City Council?
That is correct.
And we thank you for
thank you,
service and time. And,
is there going to be a 5th term?
Well, filing starts September the 25th.
We won't know until the filing's over, right?
That ends September the 8th.
Well, we sure hope you'd consider rerunning.
Well,
But
thank you.
we do appreciate your knowledge of history. I mean,
Yeah.
you grew up with it.
Yep.
I
We
know your
lose you,
father
we lose a
well,
lot
and
of
he gives
knowledge.
me the same thing. And the wealth of knowledge is very, very well appreciated.
Do you realize that you act as the anchor of the council? Many people I speak to always praise you. So the guy that's the best one on the council is Councilman Gray. He's the anchor. He knows what he's talking about.
Well, we
Now,
all...
that
See, I
doesn't
told
say
you
much.
we were going to embarrass you.
I'm not saying this, mind you. This is what the public is saying.
Well, I appreciate that.
If we got Louder coming after me or Randall or what have you, please. I'm not saying this, but he is good.
Well, we all work well together.
Go
It's
ahead.
kind of like back when I played on the football teams for Doug Shaw, who's one of my greatest mentors.
Oh, yeah, Doug.
Is that
Doug Shaw,
it was a
wow.
successful team that allowed us to have the success, and I'd like to think that's the case with us on City Council. It is a successful team.
I remember when he passed away how you took it so hard.
Yeah.
Well, you're a good man. That's what I appreciate.
Thank you, John.
We want to thank you for joining us this week. We want to thank Wayne Gray for agreeing to sit in the middle seat.
Thank you. A rose between two thorns.
Oh, God, listen to that. Wow. No more compliments for you.
And we want to thank Sugami's for hosting us because they've been generous hosts, and like Wayne said, the food is tremendous. So come down and find out what you're missing if you have not been to Sugami's yet. Thank you.
Sugami Japanese Restaurant, Myrtle Beach's signature Asian cuisine experience. Fine entrees served in a casual atmosphere, including amazing hibachi selections prepared by expert chefs. Incredible sushi creations made to order from the freshest seafood. And don't forget their steaks, some of the best you'll find on the Grand Strand. Bring your friends and family. Stop in tonight. Sugami Japanese Restaurant, 4813 North Kings Highway in Myrtle Beach.
Welcome to Soho.
Soho is proud to present Soho 544, the beach's premier dining experience, now on Highway 544 near Coastal Carolina University. The same award-winning menu selection you've come to expect: succulent seafood, excellent sushi, and the very best in premium steaks. Stop in for happy hour or enjoy dinner with family and friends. Fine quality dining in relaxed comfort. That's Soho. Soho 544, 1300 Highway 544 in Conway, just south of CCU.
Good afternoon. I'm Wayne Gray. I'm a member of Myrtle Beach City Council, ending my fourth term. That's a total of 16 years. I want to say thank you to Paul Gable and John Bond Sr., the co-host of Talking Politics. It's my pleasure to be a guest today. I think it's a wonderful show where they're able to ask some really hard and direct questions and get some honest responses from the elected officials locally. And these types of shows are needed more often. We don't really get an opportunity to express those opinions and those thoughts during your regular council meetings or your workshops. So Paul and John are great friends of mine. I've known them for a long time. I think they're great public servants to our community and do a wonderful job. And let me finally say, Sugami Restaurant, which has been here for over 25 years, is one of the great hibachi restaurants in Myrtle Beach. They've got great food, they've got great drinks, and a great atmosphere, and I encourage everyone to come and enjoy Sugami Restaurant.
Blueberry's Grill is serving up fresh breakfast and lunch daily with locally sourced ingredients. Give your taste buds a treat with our unique twists on your favorite classic foods, like our daily specials or our appetizing omelets, biscuits and gravy with fresh sausage, or our unique sandwiches and burgers. Tour the kitchen where the passion and creativity begins and discover the secret of the delicious ingredients and flawless preparation. Blueberry's Grill, located at 7931 North Kings Highway. Come as a stranger, leave as a friend.